How's it going, Talk Forest TV? My name is Jack and welcome to my preview for the Luton game taking place tomorrow night at the City Ground. So yeah, first off the back of obviously a 1-1 Derby Day draw. Bit of a frustrating one really. I think we probably should have won that one, and you look at the chances we had. We didn't have too many amazing chances, but we got into positions to definitely kill off that game, and yeah, it's just a really frustrating one because I think if we had somebody up top who was able to put the ball in the back of the net a little bit more frequently, we would have won that one comfortably, but I think, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's really difficult to look back on because our defence was so good and our defence has been so good for so long. It took something special like a Colin Kazim Richard screamer to break us down, and one of my friends was messaging me the other day after the game, and he was saying that that he doesn't rate Taylor, and he's not a Forest fan. He supports, I think he supports Liverpool and Grimsby Town, but that's by the by. He was saying he doesn't rate Taylor. He thinks that he comes on and slows the game down. His touch isn't the best, and I tend to agree with him. I know that he likes to stretch the play and he can come out wide and hold things up, but his touch against Derby just wasn't the best. It let him down, and it's happened like that a couple of times recently. Like, he'll try and control it and he won't have it under his spell, like close to him, so he has to run, get the ball, and the defenders have been able to come across, and he has to sort of do a couple of step overs to try and drop his shoulder and get past him, and he does that, but the defender's still on him, and he has to try and shoot from the distance, and like we saw against Rotherham, he went straight into the side netting. So it's really frustrating to see, because I think with a striker, with somebody else up front, we might have been able to do a little bit better and get another goal. But it's not just on Lyle Taylor, obviously. There were other chances. Narcott came with a header. Maybe if that was somebody a bit better in the air, he might have been able to direct it a little bit, not straight at Kemal Roof. What's his first name? Kemal Roof? No, that's not Kemal Roof. That was a player who played for Leeds. Keller Roos, that's it, Keller Roos. So I think if we had somebody a little bit more potent up front to bring off the bench, that might have been a bit better. Maybe if Grabban was not injured, but again, Grabban's not really been too good in terms of confidence lately either, so it's a difficult one. But moving on to the Luton game, looking at Luton, they're doing really well, 14th in the Championship, and you look at Luton, a club that when they came up, everybody pretty much expected them to go straight back down. You expect them to probably perform a bit like Wycombe this season, a team that were bottom of the table for a large majority of the season, not really in any trouble of staying up, but they did it. They did well to stay up, and they had Graham Jones, got rid of him, went back to Nathan Jones who helped them to come up, and they managed to stay up, and credit to them. They're not a club that you look at and think you've got bags of ability to stay in this league. You don't look at them and think they've got a lot of Championship quality players, but they've got a system going on there. They've got a really good bunch of players. You look at Ruddox and Panzu, Sonny Bradley, Collins up front, Sluga in goal. They've got a really good side, and they're just doing really well, and a team that they show that you don't always need the money, because I think their record transfer is Sluga, a goalkeeper for like 1.2 million. So it shows if you've got a manager who knows how to set the team up in a system that's going to get the best out of the players, then you're laughing. You're going to stay up in this league, and that's fantastic for them. I don't think they've got really their sights set on going up. I think they've just got their sights set on just establishing themselves as a Championship outfit. Like a Birmingham have, like a Cardiff, not really so much a Cardiff actually, like Millwall. I think Millwall's a prime example. Millwall, they were a bit of a yo-yo club from League One to the Championship. They managed to stay up, had a little bit of a run actually towards the playoffs, but they're sort of just consolidating themselves as a comfortable Championship side, and I think that's what Luton, if they can stay up next season, that's what they'll be on the road to doing, and credit to them. If you look at the last game played against them at Kenilworth Road, 1-1 draw. I think if I remember correctly, it was an own goal that scored it for us. I'll just quickly have a look if I can find it. There it was. It was actually Glenn Rea scored it up at their end, and then scored an own goal for us. Nicholas Ianu again on a red card, and I think, could it be something similar again? I don't know. I'd like to see Forest win, obviously. I think it might be a case of another 1-0, 2-1 sort of game, a close game, which I think it's okay to do because our defence is so strong. But I think maybe we do need to sort out the attacking situation. I don't know if it's just after one game and it might sort itself out, which I really hope so. You look at the Wickham game where we managed to put 3 past him, Glenmurray brace, and Knockhart coming in off the right hand side. Knockhart, just let me say, he's looked absolutely fantastic recently. He looked like he was really, really feeling himself against Derby. He was absolutely superb. And if he can bring that sort of form into this Luton game, we could be on to something superb. Something, I don't want to say superb. Onto something good. I think that's probably what I was trying to say. But yeah, I think it's going to be a close game. If you look at our last couple of games, we've scored once against Derby, once against Norwich. What am I on about? Once against Rotherham, once against Blackburn. We didn't score against Swansea, didn't score against Bournemouth, and then 3 against Wickham. So in our last, 5 games, we have scored 3 goals, and we have conceded 2 goals. So that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Our defence really makes up for our not so on fire attack in the last 4 games, which is not so bad, but I don't always want to have to rely on the defence. I want to be able to sometimes see Forest win games with the firepower up front, win games by scoring goals like against Wickham, and not have to rely on nicking a goal and defending for the whole game, because you saw against Derby, it can take something out of the ordinary, like Colin Kazim Richards stunner to get only a point from that game. So I think I think for me, I'm going to say 1-0 again, but I think if we can get a bit of shooting practice, or even just maybe bring someone in, or just give a bit more confidence to the attackers, we could be okay going forward. But yeah, I'm going to say 1-0 first. I'm going to say Anthony Knockhart to score. I think he's due a goal. He hasn't scored since the Wickham game, and he's looked likely to score in those games. Since that, he's been getting into good positions and causing problems for the defenders, wreaking havoc, especially against Derby. So, I think we can see him scoring that one. But yeah, in terms of the lineup, I think it's going to be very similar. Very similar to what we've seen recently, with Samba in goal, a back four of Christie, Ribeiro, Figueiredo, Worrell, Cafu, Garner in front of them, Knockhart, Freeman, Krovinovic in front of those two, and then down the middle, probably Glenmurray. I think it's going to be pretty much exactly the same, if not perfectly the same, from that one that played Derby, because Chris Hughton's been saying in interviews he's happy with the team. He wants to sort of keep a balance of players, a unit of players who he knows can perform and know what he wants to do. And we haven't lost in 3 games now, so there's no need to change that. He's got a team that seem to work well together, who know what each other are going to do. He's got some players he likes to bring off the bench. Tyler Blackett coming on as a sort of a defensive winger, which can be helpful when sitting on a lead. But obviously when we conceded against Derby, he had to sort of switch to be more attacking, which obviously as a left back isn't something he's accustomed to so much. But I think, I'm going to say 1-0 first. I'm going to say Anthony Knockhart to get the goal. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was like 1-1. I think Luton are doing really well this season, and they're a team that you wouldn't be surprised to pick up a draw against you, to be honest. They've got 11 wins, 8 draws, 13 losses. As for us, we have got a game in hand on them, to be fair, but we've got 10 wins, 10 draws, 13 losses. So, maybe we could look to improve on that. And I think if Houghton was here at the start of the season, we would be much higher than we already are. We've really done well recently to push ourselves up and look a bit more positive. I think looking at the playoffs now, we're only 12 points off, which it's doable. It's 4 wins with how many games to go? I can't think off the top of my head. That would be quick maths. 9. It's difficult. I don't think we'll do it, but we have got a lot of promise going into next season to do it, and I think I think I could definitely see us get there next season, but we'll have to see what is happening. So yeah, like I say, 1-0 win for me, Anthony Knockhart to get the goal. Hoping for a bit more of an assured performance going forward. Our defence is always quite reliable, but I'd love to see us score more goals. I think that'd be really good. But I do see it being a 1-0. 1-0 defensive win again. So yeah, if you did enjoy, smash the like button, subscribe to Talk Forest TV if you haven't already, and all of Dan's other channels. And come on, you Reds.